only 12 senators remain after each election, insufficient to form a quorum. Thus, unlike the U.S. Senate or the Philippine Senate under the 1935 Constitution, we cannot carry unfinished proceedings into the next Congress. Allowing the 20th Congress to take over this trial would be ultra vires or beyond our constitutional power. If we cannot conclude the trial before June 30, 2025, we must recognize this impeachment case is functionally dismissed by constitutional operation and no action can be taken by the 20th Congress on the matter for lack of constitutional authority. Mr. President, kahit anong pilit, hindi maitatawid, lalo na't kung lalabag sa saligang batas.
There is no provision in the 1987 Constitution or in the Senate Rules of Procedure on impeachment trials that expressly prohibits this. On the contrary, the Senate Rules on Impeachment support the position that the impeachment trial shall continue until final judgment, even if it is necessary to continue into the next Congress. Under the 1987 Constitution, the Senate is the impeachment court. The Senate in impeachment cases is more like a judicial body than a legislative one. Just like a court, the workload, caseload, or docket of the Senate as the impeachment court will not and should not be affected by a change in membership. We can see this principle in action in all our courts and electoral tribunals, where their case dockets do not change and are not reduced or reset to zero whenever there are changes in the court's membership. Likewise, it is well settled that jurisdiction once acquired is not lost but continues until the case is terminated, and hopefully terminated to its logical end. Hence, it is my humble opinion that the trial of the current impeachment case, now pending before the Senate of the 19th Congress, can cross over or continue from the 19th Congress to the 20th Congress. The impeachment docket of the Senate Impeachment Court continues and remains to be the same.
Mr. President, the 1987 Constitution demands that the Senate continue with the impeachment proceedings already initiated without further delay. The rulings of the Supreme Court make it clear that first, impeachment is a non-legislative function of the Senate. This is Chavez versus Judicial and Bar Council, GR number 202242, 16th April 2013. And second, that non-legislative functions of the Senate are not affected by the shift from 19th to 20th Congress. This is the case of Pimentel Jr. versus Joint Committee of Congress, GR number 163783, 22 June 2004. It is true that the 19th Congress cannot bind the 20th Congress and all unfinished business will be terminated. But this is only true for any work done by us in the exercise of our legislative functions. Once we receive the articles of impeachment, trial by the Senate shall forthwith proceed. Hahatulan tayo ng sambayanan kung hindi natin ginampanan ang tungkulin na ito sa sambayanan.